I mean, to be honest with you, I started out like the first game I ever played. My oldest brother, he's like 10 regular, like with the flip open big cartridge Nintendo. I think it's like the Super NES or whatever it is. It was one of those super old
No, that's the
Nintendo.
regular the regular Nintendo. The Super Nintendo, they were more rectangular. Did you say rectangular or squared?
No, it's like rectangular, and it was
Uh,
like black with the like black bottom trim and like gray on top with the red Nintendo. I think on the right side and on the left side it had like a flip open port. You put all the cartridges in, and they went like straight into it and pressed down. You know what I mean? So you just
oh
inserted
yeah,
a
no,
horizontal thing.
that's the regular
Okay,
Nintendo.
yeah. So he
Yeah,
had
that's the
that where I
regular
was growing up.
Nintendo. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. He had that, and he had like an old school Mario game on it, and he had like a baseball game. I never could play his baseball game because, like, he could not have a new save. Like, and he had a save he'd been playing forever. You couldn't make a new save on it,
Yeah.
whatever game it was. So I never got to play that. But I started playing Super Mario where you could like cheat to like like the third world real fast or whatever, and like cheat to the end of the game real quick with like the skip move and all of that. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
that when I was like 4 or 5. So I've been playing video games forever, man. That was my first one. But like after I figured out like how cool sports games were and like how competitive other types of games were, since then, man, like I really don't play many games offline. Like I really play games to compete with other people. Like that's the majority of what I do. Like seriously, I like to. It's just fun for me. That's what I like to do. I don't know. Other people when they compete with people, like they don't win, they get bitter. You know what I mean? I've never been that way. Like I'll lose 1,000 times. It doesn't bother me. Like until you leave and I didn't get to beat you, I'm not upset. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
if I got to lose 1,000 times to beat you once, and that's what it is, I don't mind.
Okay.
I take that. That's how I always was. It's just how it is. Especially when you're like the youngest in your family, you know what I mean? You got to take them when you can get them. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a lot of wins a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's how it
yeah.
goes, bro. That's how it
I was
goes.
the
So
youngest boy, man. So I kind of understand what you're talking about. Now, I know with you, like you and I got connected in I don't know 2007 or 8 or something like that. But
yeah, Lost Planet.
so you like playing games to compete, like before.
Especially games that are super skill based. That's what I loved about Lost Planet. Like you have to be able to survive all of the different attacks that can come at you in order to even attack other people. If you can't do that, you're just gonna get mopped up all game. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's
Right.
really based on skill first. And I
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's the type of game I try to find. But those are hard to come by.
Well, what did you play before that?
I mean, before that, I was playing like Fight Night, Super Smash Brothers,
Okay.
a lot of what do you call it? What was that old Mario Party?
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
the Mario Racing, Super Mario Racing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, I can't remember.
Super Mario Kart. Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart. There you go. Also, there's another game out there I used to play back in the day, Perfect Dark. If you ever
I
heard of
never
that,
played Perfect Dark, man.
bro, that game was so
I heard.
silly.
I never played it.
It was
Yeah.
so fun, man. There
I
were these
played
little like,
GoldenEye, but
bro.
I heard
So
Perfect Dark was the better version of
well, let me
GoldenEye.
put it to you
But I
like
don't
this: the
know.
things that put it over the top for me was you could mess with the AI you play against, and not just like difficulty. So like you could mess with it where there would be like pacifist bots who literally run up and punch you and take your weapon and leave you all blurry and you can't see, and
What?
you got to go run up and punch somebody else and take theirs while you can't see
Okay.
and do that to them. Like so. How can I say it?
Mm.
Like I never played that online against other people, but I would play it with my friends in the neighborhood and stuff. Bro, that was the move. Like punching somebody in the face, that was the ultimate. Like, oh, you just got worked. You know what I mean? Like even if you live, even if you killed them and you're still blurry, like it doesn't matter. Like he ran up and slapped you. Like you can't. That's the ultimate. Like, oh man, you're terrible. You know what I mean? To have that happen to you, oh, that's the worst. So it was too fun. That game was the best. Another one that's like slept on as far as like the multiplayer in it was Conker's Bad Fur Day. Oh, dude,
Oh, I heard about that. I never played that.
bro. So that game is definitely rated M for mature, but
Okay.
like I was playing that game in like middle school and like dude. So outside of all the immature stuff, that was one of the first games I played where it had almost everything to do with skill. It was all about being able to aim and constantly jumping, like never walking anywhere ever. Like you're always jumping constantly, period, no matter what you're doing. In any game mode you're playing, it's not the actual story itself,
Mm.
which I never really messed with. I was never big into like I don't know, man. Like I don't know how to say it. Like just beating some game like in the story of a game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care about the story too much. Like I'm not gonna be telling other people like, oh man, the story was so. Like, I don't care about that.
Okay.
I'm not interested. It doesn't. I don't know. It's not something that captivates me much. Whereas like, for example, like when I'm playing in Lost Planet, I remember the games I'm playing against other people. That I like. You know what I mean? That I can, like I remember like the first guy who ever showed me you could roll forward and not get murdered by everything. Like I remember that dude's name, and it was when I only played rockets. He showed me how to roll a rocket. Like that's literally what he showed me. He opened the door. You know what I mean? And it was like that dude's name was Sir Tuesday, I believe. It was like Sir Tuesday or like Sir Thursday. It was a goofy dude.
Okay.
But like if you go ask any of the super old rocket players, that was like the dude who was nicest to the noobs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like out of
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
people that were
yeah,
good
yeah,
with rockets,
yeah.
everybody else looked down on you and just stomped on you
Mm-hmm.
and didn't say words to you and would just laugh at you and stomp on you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that dude would actually interact with you. And luckily for me, I've always been funny. So I got on his good side and we became friends for a little while. He showed me how to roll a rocket, and I don't even know what happened to that guy. He just stopped like coming online.
Mm.
But I just took it from there. It just kept going and going and going. Got into some clans and all of that, and like learning and learning, playing and playing. Probably played like over 1,000 one-on-ones, just in all kinds of different like one-on-one rockets, one-on-one shotguns, one-on-one rifles, one-on-one plasma guns. Like that's how I got good at the game. One-on-ones, one-on-one training facility, whatever you want to do. We go one-on-one mech shotguns. Like I don't care. Like we can do whatever you want to do. I'm with the one-on-ones. I do it all night. Like I love playing one-on-one. That's how I like to
On
play.
any is that any game that you feel that you can compete in?
Honestly, I'll be truthful with you. Like, so I'm a super fundamental guy, right? So what I mean by that is this. Whatever I feel like I'm going to try to work on in any game or anything that I want to get better at in life, I'm going to make sure before I even put an ounce of time into it that I think about it in the concept of, is it applicable every single time? Does that make sense? So, like, for
Is
example, let me put it to you like this, right? So, like, for example, my buddy's telling me he wants to learn how to meditate. And he's telling me, like, he's going to set up this room in his house and this and that and that and this. And, like, what happens when you get upset at the job? You can't run home to meditate and come back. You can't just meditate in your little room, my guy. You got to be able to do it wherever you're at. You can't just do it in a magical place. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a special place and doing it there. But if you only ever practice doing it there, that's the only way it's useful. Now, you can't use it when you need to. So, what's the point of doing that? You understand what I'm saying? You can't. It's not applicable at all times. Why applicate it at all? The mind is a habitual thing. So why make that a habit? It's a very unuseful habit. I'm an extremely fundamental individual. I break things down to the most finite increment I possibly can, to its most simple, whatever you want to call it, action or whatever it is. I break things down like that, and that's what I try to, like, not only find other people do wrong, but like how I'm making mistakes myself and get better. Trying to break things all the way down like that. That's how I've been able, like my whole life, even though I'm not super athletic, to beat people at sports. Like I was that kid. Like I was the big, heavy set, slow white kid who would still win sometimes. And y'all would be like, "What? How?" Like I wouldn't get picked within the top 10 ever. Definitely, just like Michael Jordan, I take that personally. Like I'm coming for you. It's like that. I ain't got no friends out here, and you made it clear when you picked everybody else. That's cool. And when I win, I'm not high fiving anybody. I won. Like that's how it is. Like that's how I am. That's how I gotta be, man. Because nobody's gave me nothing, my guy. So I gotta go get it, you know. And once I
Okay.
get it, I'm not looking for nothing after that. You know what I mean? I don't want no praise after that. You keep it. I don't want it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta believe in me in the first, or I don't want you in the end. You know what I mean? Keep it.
Okay. All right. Well, so obviously, like playing online became a thing, or playing
Oh,
competitively
bro,
online
I
became a thing.
skipped. I used to play at my buddy across the street town, my best friend growing up. He had a 1 foot tall RV TV. You remember them like big like tube TVs that were like
Mm-hmm.
70s style, but they were a foot tall. And they came
Yeah.
out like exclusively for your RV or whatever. Well, he was a single kid or whatever. Like he was like an only child, so he got a lot of stuff growing up, and I did not.
Okay.
So we would play Halo 2 I think it was on original Xbox,
Okay.
split screen, bro. So we would both have 6 inches of TV. Oh my gosh, I literally Like that's where I first started playing anybody and anything online, and that was definitely where I first like got my competitive streak about it. Like, oh, this is a competition too. Like this is not just a game. If I don't want it to be, like I can take this more seriously. I can play this to win every time if I want to. That's where I kind of realized like video games and sports have that in common. But I first grew up loving sports. Like I've always loved sports. You know what I mean? All kinds. Even if I've never played them, I learn all about them because I don't know. People are just starting to understand, like with Lomachenko and boxing, like people are just now starting to understand. Yes, learning ballerina like footwork can make you really good at punching people in the face. Like there's absolutely no end to the possibilities of learning one thing and taking something from that and applying it to something completely different and having great success. Like I've always understood that to be a thing. That's always to me it makes sense. Like why you wouldn't attempt that, I don't know. I try everything because I have to. I don't got it the easy way. I gotta find some kind of way to get ahead. You know what I mean? That's how I gotta do it. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like people people look down on like trying new stuff because like, oh well, this guy when he came up, like, well, Barry Sanders did it this way and this guy did it that way. You know what I mean? And people kind of get stuck in that too much, I think. I think you got to kind of try to do it your own way a little more. Nothing wrong with like studying them, taking what you think you can use from them, but you got to, you know, be a lot more yourself than anybody else. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, yeah,
I feel like those are the type of people that really uh what do you want to call it? Move things forward, like move the sports forward. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The people
Okay,
who do it like a
so
weird way.
you played Halo 2.
Yeah,
All
way
right.
back. Yeah, that was so
Right,
fun.
right, right. Now, would you say that that was the game that got you like into multiplayer gaming?
Yes. Oh yeah, dude. That
Okay.
one was the one, man.
Did you
Like,
have the so you had the Xbox 360, right?
yeah, I had that one.
Aside from Lost Planet, what other games did you play on that?
Um, I mean, to be honest with you, another friend of mine in Coco had Lost Planet, and I was over there playing it, messing around with him at his house playing with that.
Hmm.
That's what ended up even getting me interested in the 360. Then I got Lost Planet with the 360, played that for a long time, and then after, I think it was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare had come out and the beta came out. I was messing around with that. And to be honest with you, I was kind of not excited because I had Call of Duty like 2 and it was really good. But then I had Call of Duty 3 and it was really, really, really bad. But like I also did not know that they had two different companies making them and all of this. So I was not excited for Call of
Hmm.
Duty 4. Like I'm telling everybody, like if this is anything like the last one, it's gonna be terrible. Not gonna be awesome. And then we get into like the free beta. Bro, I'm talking about I downloaded the free beta thing like all night. Like it literally took from like midnight till like 8 a.m. to finish downloading that stupid beta. That thing was so huge. And my internet was so bad. Bro, I finally got it downloaded and like got to play it. That game was pretty sick. That was a super fun game. I liked Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That was probably like the third in my top three favorite online games. It was like Lost Planet, Halo 2, and then Call of Duty 4. All of those games, so fun, man. They
All
don't make
right.
them like that no more, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I played Halo 2. I might have, but um, okay. All right. I definitely played Halo 1, but that's, man, I don't know how old I was when that came out.
Ooh,
The original Xbox, man, he had the black and white button up at the top that was
yeah,
super hard to get to because the controller was massive, man.
wonky,
That
man.
Xbox controller was massive,
Bro, that thing was a weapon in somebody's hands when they
man.
got mad, bro. Like that was a
Yeah.
new element to gaming when you're gaming with your friends. Like when your friends get mad on Xbox, bro, they might swing at you with a
Yeah.
5 pound controller. Like
Yeah.
that's a little brick, man. Like watch out.
Right, right, right. So it sounds like video games been a part of your life for a long time, man.
Oh yeah, man. Like especially with my oldest brother, like he was the one that I grew up with. You know what I mean? The most, because I have two older brothers, but he was the one I grew up with the most. And it's
Okay.
kind of goofy because it's like now I'm much closer with the one I didn't grow up with, but it's like that's just I guess that's life. But yeah, when I grew up with him, like almost my whole life he was always playing video games. He got me into Madden. He got me into all kinds of games that I've never ever messed with or played before, and it was super awesome. I was super lucky to have that guy
Nice,
growing up.
man. Nice. So let me ask you this for the next question. Um, like again, I don't know if you're in a relationship or anything, but like, what does your family think about video games?
I mean, my
Your
family's
close relatives,
well, like my immediate family. I
right?
mean, well, like I said, my oldest brother
Mm-hmm.
is like an avid player of and still plays, and all his kids and stuff and family play video games.
Nice.
My second oldest brother is also a player. All his kids play except for his wife. His wife's kind of like a little goofy about it, I would say, but like at the end of the day, she doesn't really try to understand either. She doesn't really want to. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Where she
Yeah.
doesn't. It's goofy though because she like doesn't care if the kids play, but like if he's playing while she doesn't feel like he should be, it's an issue. So that's how
Okay.
that goes. And then
Yeah.
my sister, like, bro, my sister would be trying to like steal my Xbox 360 from me and play it. Like that's how she was. She would always be trying to play on my Xbox all the time. So my whole family's always played. They've never really like felt one way or another. They've almost kind of seen it the same way we all do, where it's almost like another type of a sport, really. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's really like what it is. It's almost like more of a. It's almost like a completely mental sport. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Mm. Okay. All right. What about any of your friends?
I mean, most of my friends do. I mean, the ones that don't are like few and far between. The majority of like all my friends growing up played, still play now. Like now some how can I say it? Some of my friends are goofy where they'll like only play on like N64, Dreamcast,
Mm.
PlayStation, blah blah blah. Like they'll bust out the old school stuff and
Mm-hmm.
play with that. You know what I
That's
mean?
all right.
They
Yeah.
don't. Now, don't get me wrong. They have the new stuff too, but it's almost like they use the new stuff more for like the internet browsing part or like the Netflix part. Like
Okay.
not so much the games. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When
Yeah.
they want to get down and game, like they're
Mm-hmm.
busting out the old school stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's most of my friends. A few of them like mess with computer stuff, but it's like they're like the polar opposite of me, man. Like they're not competitors like that. They like to like get into some kind of story about elves and this and that or whatever, and like go on an adventure and build some stuff or save some people or whatever. And I'm just like, bro, that's what are we? What where? What are we doing? Like, what's going on?
You're
Like,
all,
there's
you only like PvP then.
I'm trying to get busy, my man. I'm trying to
Yeah.
see who's
Yeah.
got what and where I got it, and I got to get better. I can't find that out until we figure that out. You know what I mean? So I got to figure that out
So you
all
don't
the
like
time.
any PVE at all, like a co-op or anything?
I mean, the only like so there's a few games that I do play offline. Like so, one of them, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, oh well, that's
I played
single
that.
player, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Offline. They got one PvP one or PV co-op one actually.
okay,
So it's like I think it's Unity or something like that, and it's like up to 4 players online.
okay,
But but yeah, I like that game. That one's got a really cool story, but it's got also like history. So I'm definitely like a big fan of history, and I like to learn a lot about history, not just the super important cool parts, but all of it. It's all pretty interesting. It all gives you a better perspective of the time frame. But so yeah, I definitely like Assassin's Creed because they deal with a lot of cool historical stuff. Not
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
always accurate, but there's
yeah.
a lot of cool
Still
historical
fun
stuff.
though to explore. Yeah,
Right, it's super fun.
yeah.
And
Okay.
I would say my favorite Assassin's Creed so far has probably been the one that was in London, which was called Assassin's
Mm,
Creed Syndicate. It was in like the industrial era. You got to like get a train and you had like a grappling hook. Like it was kind of sick. It was almost like Lost Planet, where I was like a serial killer. Like it was super funny. You know what I mean?
oh
Because like I
man.
got a grappling hook, but like I'm just grappling hooked, like drop, like murdering people, like cutting their spinal cords in the back of their nape of their neck, and like choke slam his lifeless body like down some stairs, and
Really?
like
Wow.
yeah, like grappling hooking back up on the building, like we're out of here. What's your got him? You know what I mean? Job done. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I was doing. It was super fun, man. Yeah, you
All
could
right.
literally drop on top of people and instantly murder them, and then be right back up out of there. And now all of the dudes that were around would be super upset, but like they got to catch you, and they don't got to grab a hook. So like they got to get to climbing while you're like three buildings away going whoosh, like rapidly. It's like good luck, chief.
Yeah.
Within like 2 minutes, I'm gone. Mission done.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
man. Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think video games can have a negative or a positive impact on gamers, on those who play them?
I mean, honestly, man, I think they're just like anything else, man. Like it's just so as simple as I can say it. Like if you drink too much water, it can kill you. You know what I mean? If you like it seriously, if you get caught up in a tornado, that air alone can kill you. Like it's just air, but it's too much and it can kill you. So like anything too much can be bad. On top of that, not everything is for everyone. You know what I mean? As much as we all would like to have fun with everything all the time and enjoy everything with all our friends that like other stuff, that we don't, we just can't. It's not for us. So I think people get a little bit too hung up in like, I don't know how to say it, like trying to play video games because they're friends or whatever. They see people streaming now or whatever they want to, but like those people have anger issues or like those people have real problems they should try to go live a little more life and get some more experiences to learn more about and try to deal with better before they're just playing video games and getting super freaked out about them all the time. You know what I mean? It's like there's that aspect of it too. Like it's not always good. So I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's almost like the shopping cart, whatever it is, where it's like determines how like what kind of person in society you are. You ever heard of that?
No.
Bro, it's super simple. So it's an experiment, right? If you want to know like what kind of town you live in, just go to the local shopping center and watch 100 people leave. And out of those 100 people, how many of the people put their cart back in the rack, right? That's a responsible citizen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You get what I'm trying to say? It's
Yeah,
comical, but
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
real deal
yeah.
Holyfield thing. So like it's like that, man. How many people are really being responsible with almost any part of their lives right now? You know what I mean? Like seriously. A lot of people are doing a whole lot of irresponsible stuff. I think people just kind of realize, like, oh, okay, I can be irresponsible about this, and it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that big a deal until it becomes one, and it takes time, and then it does. So it's like, what are you gonna do? They kind of let it happen to themselves. I don't think it's a real prominent issue, and I don't think it's necessarily a super positive thing. But I don't think it's. I think it's just as good as say sports or anything else. It can bring people together. You know, any other kind of
Mm.
entertainment, it's just as good as that to me. But I mean,
Okay.
you run
All
the
right.
same risks with it, though.
I think that was a pretty good answer, man. I thought about it myself not too long ago. You hear the question all the time, like what benefit is there to people gaming, and it's you're not doing anything with your life playing video games X, Y, and Z. I'm sure that you've heard everything that I've heard before. It's at
Right.
some point of your
Oh,
experience with
you
playing
know.
games, man. So, but I thought about that, man. It was like there are benefits to playing video games, just like there's benefits to playing sports. And I think you were talking about sports that you don't play. Um, and I
Well, I
was just
still
thinking
watch
about,
them or pay attention to them. Yeah.
yeah, and I was just thinking about like how social that sports really are.
Right.
Like
They're
think about
really a
golf.
super social mechanism, man.
Like how athletic do you have to be decent at golf?
Bro,
You
there's
have to
pros
have
that are like 60.
shoulder. You have to have good shoulder movement and good hip movement and everything like that. But you don't necessarily have to be a stud. In
No, you don't
order
got
to
to be
be
powerful. You don't
right.
got to be athletic.
Right. And why do people like, let's say you have an uncle and he and his friends are of a certain age and they go out and they play golf. Why do you think they're playing golf?
I mean, the foremost part is the companionship, the camaraderie, and the
Right.
friendships and the
Right.
fun times they've had, the
And that
memories
that's
with their
exactly
friends.
that's exactly how I look at video
But there's
games,
it's
man.
twofold though. I think with video games, in the same way that you example golf, there, I think there's another aspect as well. Then you have the people who go out there with business partners
Yeah,
and things like
yeah,
that are trying to network. You
right,
can do the same thing on video games. You
yeah.
can network on video games as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another positive thing that people always overlook about it, where it's like, to me, if you were to go ask all the office executives how many times a year do they get a drink with someone else from the office randomly about business or whatever, or for a business opportunity, however many of them say yes or whatever, be like, okay, well, why were you wasting your time doing that? You could have been playing video games. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
same thing. You were just networking. You could have been networking from home.
Right,
Like
right,
there's
right.
that's the only difference.
Yeah,
Truthfully.
man. So I was just thinking about that not too long ago, man, and there's a lot of positive, there's a lot of positive benefits to video games. But I do like what you said. There is a such thing as too much.
Yeah, of everything, man.
And you can become addicted to video games. Absolutely, I
Oh,
absolutely believe that, man.
bro, I have been. What?
Oh
I
yeah.
played it for 3 days straight, bro. No
No,
sleep.
no way, no
Yes,
way.
yes, bro. Ask
Three
Fisher.
days
Three
straight,
days
bro.
straight. 3 days straight.
And
Bro,
you
I'm
still
telling you, I
didn't
put the
pass me up
work
on
in.
the leaderboard,
Bro, I
man.
promise. No, I wasn't worried about no leaderboards. This is what I was doing, bro. I
Oh
promise you.
man,
This is how I got good at the shotgun, dude. This is how I became the best in the world. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
I'm not even messing with you. This is what I did. So I did like clockwork, right? In the morning, all the Japanese players would get online. I'm talking
Yeah.
like late threes, early fours in the morning till about 8, 9. They'd all be
Mm-hmm.
hopping off.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all played elimination and TDM all the time. I would jump in all their games constantly every morning.
And they played,
I
but
did
they played
this.
machine guns.
A lot of them did, but there
Yeah.
were groups of them that played Rockets, and that's how I found out about them playing against them with the Rockets.
Okay.
And I would go into their elimination games, and it got to the point they would like remake the game and try not to let me in, like they didn't want me to play with them. I'm not playing with you. Like if they saw Action Jackson was in the lobby, they would split. It would be me and 17 Japanese players or whatever it was, 16, 15, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Me and a bunch of Japanese people. I didn't speak
15.
no
Yeah.
Japanese, straight up. And I went to play with them because I was like, bro, everybody says they're what's up. I'm gonna go find
Yeah.
out. That's
Japanese
what I
players
did.
were good, man.
Bro, they
Wario and
were, but I
Mario,
got to
man.
the point I would, that dude, Wario, bro,
Wario and Mario,
word, bro.
man.
So Mario, I never had no real problem with. Don't really remember him much because every time I saw him, I killed him pretty decently. But this Wario dude, bro, he caught me slipping so hard. I'll never forget it, bro. I'll never forget it. It was one of the dirtiest things anybody ever did to me in that game. I promise you. So you remember the training facility spawn where one team spawns inside the maze and the other team spawns on like the solo boxes that are
Yeah,
small,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? I'm on the small boxes behind them. Grapple up, jump, come around on the front side, running to the left side, going for the plasma rifle, whatever it was right there, right?
Mm-hmm,
That
mm-hmm.
little rifle right there.
Right.
Bro, Wario jumps up on top of the maze wall with disc grenades and a machine gun. And you know what happened next. He threw that disc. I ran right by it, never even looked that way. Like you're gonna get murdered in 2 seconds, and then exploded. And looked, and there's a little dude dropping off of the wall, and I went, "What?" Bro, I was so, after that, I was on that dude's neck after that, bro. I had to get him so much after that, and I did. I
Mm-hmm.
had to. But yeah, that was where I went and like learned how to play with shotguns. Because if you could like mess with the Japanese that like use machine guns only with the shotgun, they were really, 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 really hard. Bro, I ended up figuring it out. Like, how can I say this? Everybody would like just shoot and roll or do some variation of shooting and rolling. Like I had a way where basically it was just a matter of time before I hit you and you're not going to hit me. Like I'm going to roll all of your shots and you're going to eventually catch mine because I'm not shooting at you. I'm guessing where you're going to roll and you're going to roll into it. That's literally all it was. So in
Mm-hmm.
one-on-ones, I was literally the very best with the shotgun. And it was just not a question. Everybody I played, nobody ever got double-digit kills against me when I played the one-on-one. Like I stomped everybody all the time. My
All right.
favorite my favorite person to play was those Quebec dudes because they talk so much smack with their goofy Quebec accents,
Oh,
and then
come
I
on.
would smash
What
them.
was a blackout? I think
Yeah, yeah. I was in
blackout.
the little clan for a little while. I think.
Oh, you were in that clan?
Nah, I don't know if it was blackout or what it was, but I was in one of their. I was in a clan with them for a little while. I can't remember. They might have actually joined Bloodline or something for a little while, but it was like way late in Lost Planet. It was
Yeah,
a
there's
small
one
world.
of them that I connected with.
Steel.
Steel. Yeah, I think his name is Jonathan. It might be
Word.
Steel Man. And then
He always
I
tried to
don't
tell me
think
that there was
Pridum was in Blackout.
no, I don't remember him. But
Pridum,
there
he
was
was
like
number one, I believe, man.
I want to
France.
say there was like Steel and somebody else are like the two main people in it.
Yeah, yeah, I can't remember, man. But
Yeah, those guys are
yeah,
so funny, man.
yeah, the game. All right, man. The game was pretty good. So I'm gonna jump on to the next question, then, man. What's your
Yeah.
biggest criticism about video games now?
Mm, I would say my biggest criticism about video games now is everybody's looking for like the new video game format, like the new way to bring a game to you. And I don't mean
Mm,
like by Xbox or PlayStation or computer or virtual reality or mobile or handheld or so. I don't mean like that. I mean like, do you want a first person shooter? Do you want a MOBA game? Do you want a real time strategy? Do you want an MMORPG? Like everybody's trying to like box their game into these categories. Like why can't one game have a little of all of this? Like why? I don't understand that. Like it doesn't make sense to me. The only game that's come close to doing anything like that is World of Warcraft because they have a lot of different smaller elements to the game. But the problem with it is you can't access those without dealing with the mind numbing drudgery of leveling up your dude all the way first, mainly. So
mm.
it's like counterintuitive to players who don't want to do that and want to play these other smaller games. Like I don't understand why they don't have a game that's equally as catering to all of those types of genres. Like I don't get it. Like why can't you sell me a game that I get to play the way I want to, not a game you predetermine how I have to? You know what I mean? That's what I don't understand about video games more than anything else. That's what I don't. Why have people not attempted to counter or conquer that idea yet with video games? Like what are y'all waiting for? Like what? Why do you hate money? Like what are you doing? Like just hurry up and make a game that's worth like go across all of the cult favorites of all of these genres I just named and make a game that has a little bit of all of that. Like why is that difficult? I don't understand.
So, do you
And
think
don't
any game has came close to doing that aside from World of
I would
Warcraft?
say they're like the closest just because of how much different stuff you can do in it.
Mm.
But that would be the only reason why, not because they're actually close to trying to bring people like a multifaceted type of a game. I don't think that's the case. If I had to say there's a game that's kind of close to it or something like that, I would say maybe something like Gary's Mod, if you've ever heard of that. It's kind of like a game where you can make a bunch of different game modes all by yourself, and that's not really super original. You're still stuck within the confines of like first or third person or whatever it is. And I don't know how to say it, but it's like
Mm.
it's almost like do you know those like package games where it's like a bunch of board games or something like that?
Mm. Yeah,
Why
yeah.
why wouldn't you just have a package game with like a bunch of different types of games in it that are all based around the same type of story or whatever kind of a thing and make those different games from that story?
I
You know what
feel
I'm saying?
like there were some games like that a long time ago. There was
It
a
just doesn't
game.
make sense.
How was that? Skate or Die. I feel like that game Skate or Die had multiple game modes or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look that up, man. Skate or Die, I feel like was something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand. Like if you've got a story, all you really need to do is have a bunch of people write other games into the story or whatever that you have, whatever that is. I don't really care. Not a big fan of that. And then whatever everybody likes that all wants to go play your game based around your story or whatever. Like how can I say this? Instead of like, oh, I've got a group of friends that play this type of a game, I get on this game to play with them. Oh, but now my this type of game friends want to play, I got to get off of this game and get on this game with them. You know what I'm trying to say? Instead of that, everybody could play together. You see what I'm trying to say? And you could compromise and do a little bit of this and then a little bit of that and then a little bit of this and it's like nobody be left out. And you make the maximum amount of like how can I say it appeal to the players possible.
That's a
I don't
very
understand.
ambitious game, man.
I just don't understand why people don't
that's
try to attempt it. Like
that's a
because if you
very
do that,
ambitious game.
it
Yeah.
is. But think about it this way: the idea of Walmart was extremely ambitious until they cornered the market.
Mm.
So what if you made a game that was this ambitious and then cornered the market with it.
Yeah.
Because you're
Okay.
basically going to put almost every other type of game practically out of business if you do it well enough.
Yeah. All right, man. Okay. I can I can definitely see how you see things in terms of like the video game industry as a whole, man, and developers and publishers and you really, it sounds like you just want a game that you can play and your friends can play, and even if you want to venture off and do something different, you can still be within that environment that was
Right,
created
that
by
game.
that game. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think instead
Okay.
of doing that, they're just trying to give you like a game dashboard or something with all the games in it. And
Yeah.
that is like a pain.
All right, man. Okay. Well, let me ask you one final question. What games are you playing now?
At the moment, I have been playing a little Escape from Tarkov today. Um,
What is it
was
about that
having
game you like?
so like so me particularly because I'm older now, my eyesight's not as good as it used to be, right? My reflexes aren't as fast as they used to be, right? Getting older now, so like if I want to go compete with people in a game, it's got to be a game that takes a lot of mental ability in order to
Okay.
compete, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tarkov, there's a lot to know. I could just say it very simply with that. There is a whole lot to know. Like, so for example, you've heard of a dude named Shroud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know he
Shroud,
plays that.
when he first started playing it, he didn't do so hot, and it ain't because he can't shoot people well. It's just that's not all there is to it, my guy. You got to know where people are gonna be or not gonna be. You got to listen to your surroundings and be good at identifying sounds around you. You also need to know where a lot of different key things on the map you're on are, whatever map you're on. And you need to be able to identify where you are on that map when you spawn because you randomly spawn all over it and there's no signs anywhere of any kind. Like, so like you know how in Lost Planet there would be like that little red square or whatever where people would spawn on one team or the other team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could be spawn camped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Tarkov, there's what's called extracts, right? And Tarkov is a mill sim. So an extract is how you get out of the map, right? If you're not playing as a scav and you're playing as a PMC, then basically you're playing on your character. If you die, you lose all your stuff potentially if somebody else takes it, and you lose all the stuff that you had, which generally costs you money, and your
Hmm.
economy goes down, right? So it's a risk reward kind of a game. But then if you're playing as a scav, you don't get to pick the stuff you take with you. It's randomly given to you, but it's free. And if you get to survive, you keep all of that and whatever you find, right? So the real way to go in is as a scav with whatever gun you get given, and then do just make it happen, Captain, and just go murder a lot of people and take all their stuff and be wearing a big old backpack and a big old vest full of their stuff that's super expensive, and then extract with it super slow because you can't run fast because it's heavy. It's a super realistic game, but it's like it's super super fun, man. It's super super hard, but it's super super fun. That's the easiest way I can say it, man.
So
It's a
that
whole lot
goes,
to know.
yeah. So that goes back to you saying that you like games where
It's
there's
skill
a
based,
skill based high level of
super super,
difficulty.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, high level skill ceiling. Like there's a how can I say? I like games with a real high learning curve.
Yeah.
That's a real easy way to say. I like games with a high learning curve because like what else is the point of playing it to me? Like what is the point of doing anything if you're not trying to be better at it? Like I understand having fun. Don't get me wrong. I do. There's plenty of time in life to mess around and just and have fun and be silly or whatever. That's cool. I'm not saying that video games can't be for that. But this particular game, I do play it to get better at it. Not saying I don't have fun doing that. I definitely do because a lot of funniness happens. Like the last time I played it, I ran into some raiders, and those dudes are like super souped up, super expensive stuff, big fancy guns. Don't die generally when you shoot them very quickly, and they throw grenades like people blink. right? So
Okay.
like boom, 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 boom. Like they throw a lot of grenades real fast, and there's generally a team of them. Bro, I thought I snuck around this whole big fight I was listening to for like 10 minutes and not getting myself involved in, and hoping to show up as the dust was clearing in time to shoot whoever was standing there. Right, that's the plan. So I go underground from one side of the map, underneath the fight. I'm literally so close to the fight, I think I'm getting shot at underground
Okay.
like multiple times until I was like, so the thing that was like bouncing off of the ground was like a sniper rifle shot from a long distance. I thought I was getting shot at underground in this big tunnel thing I'm in, trying to go underground and avoid this fight. And like this thing shoots like three times, and three times I swear to you, I'm like stopping and like panning everywhere, looking like, where's this dude? I know there's somebody shooting at me, bro. No, they were right above me, shooting at the ground. And because it was just above me, I thought they were shooting at me. So I finally figured it out, and I get above ground, and I get to looking around. Some dude walks up on me. Bro, I swear I shoot this dude twice, but unluckily for me, and I hit him in the face, but he's wearing a visor. And his visor's like strong, and my gun's not good, and my bullets are even worse. And that's a big thing in that game, bro. More than anything else, what armor you're shooting at, what bullets you're shooting it with. That's the number one equation you need to understand in that game, right? And there's a bunch of guns, and there's at least like 4 or 5 bullets plus for every gun. So it's like you got to understand how much armor penetration you're doing with your gun, what type of gun you have. So it's like, how can I say this? You want to know if you need to go in there leg shooting because there is no leg armor, and if you shoot someone in the leg enough, they'll die no matter who they are, right? Or
Mm.
can you shoot somebody through their helmet? Can you shoot somebody through their chest armor? Can you just center a mass these guys? Can you just take it a little easy and not have to freak out trying to shoot them in the legs or the face or any type of flesh you can see? You know what I mean? It's a really, really realistic mill sim. But the thing I like the most about it is like the chance to get rich. There's like an item loot thing in it, and it's random. So it's like those raider guys, they don't always spawn. When they do, they don't always spawn with good stuff. Sometimes their stuff is like mid tier, it's not that great. But sometimes they spawn with the goods. And you get those dudes and you get out with like 2 million. And it's
And those are bots.
yeah, they're like computers. And I'm
Okay.
talking about
Okay.
like
Okay. Okay.
when you look at those dudes, I've never fought one of those dudes for more than like 2 seconds and not been dead. Like they shoot you in the face so fast. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
They're hard to kill, and they're in a team. So like when you shoot the one of them, the other four or however many, the other two, because they're different sized teams, sprint at that location looking for you. Like they are immediately upset with you and are trying to smoke you super fast. So like it's
Oh
super hard.
man.
It's
All
super
right.
hard, but
Well,
it's
what
good
other
fun.
game are you playing?
So outside of that, I've been messing with some Diablo 2, which is like a super super old game.
Mm-hmm.
That that's probably the only game that's like a
PVE.
game, yeah, like a PVE kind of game that I do like. It's pretty fun, but it's just because I played it when I was like when it was like out a long time ago, probably in like 2003, 2004, like a long time ago. But outside of that, I was playing a little Civilization 6 yesterday.
Okay.
That game's pretty fun. You ever played Civ 6?
I've played Civilization, but never. I didn't play six. I don't
Which
really
one?
like those type of games like Sim City and stuff like that.
Not for you.
No, my older brother was more suited to those types of games.
Well, you got two. So which one are you talking about? Malichi?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
My other
those are
brother
those.
doesn't. He does. He'll play from time to time, but he's not a gamer at all, man.
Not no more.
Nah, nah. He never was. It was all my always my oldest brother and me.
Oh, you and
Yeah.
Thoth.
No, he's the
Oh, you talking
middle
about
brother.
Thoth? Never played.
Yeah, yeah. He's the middle
Yeah.
brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I think I've heard of Malachi. I've definitely heard of Thoth. Where's Jasher from?
What do you?
Is that biblical?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah, yeah,
So what
yeah.
did Jasher do in the Bible?
Yeah, I'll let you research it and look
Oh,
it
that's
up,
not
man.
how these podcast things work, man.
that's
You're
how
supposed to
that's how it
answer the
goes, man.
questions, my guy. You're not supposed to give me no homework. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, yeah. My name means righteous or upright, man.
Word.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I don't really know what my name means, but I know like in Ireland, My name is supposed. I think it translates to like Owen, is what it is in Ireland.
Okay. All right.
So like, what do you want to call it? The guy I was named after, my grandfather on my mom's side, his nickname was like Oni. I guess it's like a nickname for Owen. They called him Oni. But apparently he
Hmm.
was just like me. Like he had like a super great memory, and he was like super competitive in sports. He's just
Nice.
like me. But it's sad because like I never got to meet none of my grandparents. So it's like I mean I he was alive for like a year or two of my life, but I don't remember none of that. So it's like I never
Hmm.
got to really know him. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
of them were passed away by then, which sucks.
Yeah. It's life,
What are you
man.
gonna do, man? Yeah,
Right.
can't
Life.
have it all, my man.
That's right, man. That's right. And when everybody realizes that, man, that's when things will begin to get better, man. When everyone realizes you can't have everything, man. Yeah, I'm
All
gonna
right,
go
my
ahead and
man.
shut us down, man.